Alright, so hard lessons, man. I'm at $32,000 in revenue so far for the month. A little bit past the middle of the month, and that's cool for this time of year. I'm pissed off because when you let a customer, when you're on a roll and you're doing very well, and you let a customer bulldoze you into doing something for a cheaper price than you know that you're worth, and you know that you want to do it for. Maybe it's a customer you've had for many years, or maybe for some weird little reason that customer was able to slip through the cracks of your boundary and your policies, and you gave in, and now you do a job, and then it rains, and then the job takes longer, or something goes wrong, and now you're sitting here working for minimum wage when you're worth at least $100,000 a year in personal income, and you're sitting here doing something for minimum wage. That's what I want to talk about in this video. So when these things happen, I look at everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. Some people say, well, you got to take the good with the bad. You hear that crap in our industry. Well, you win some, you lose some. Bull. You know, when you're paying insurance and payroll and you have all this overhead, every single job has to be a winner. There can't be any losing jobs. And if you have one losing job, you better fix that real quick. And I'm talking to myself here, but I literally went and looked in the mirror last night. I go and look in my eyes in the mirror in the bathroom. I say, don't you ever let a customer bulldoze you like that ever again, or let their lack of planning become your emergency, or this customer's problem become your problem. You are a professional service provider, you're a business owner, and don't cave in to customers. You have to serve customers at the highest level and do beautiful work and be happy while you're working, not in anxiety. It's like my wife is like, who are you talking to? I'm talking to myself in the mirror right now. She said, what? And I'm like, just leave me alone for a second. I'm trying to have a pep talk with myself here, woman. And I look in the mirror again. I'm dead serious now. I'm like, don't you ever do that again. And I'll pause until it sets in. Do not do stupid things that make you work for free or make you lose money, right? Most of the jobs we do, it's like an 80-20. 80% of the jobs all go really well. 20% of them now, something stupid happens that takes longer or costs money, whatever. Which is pretty good, I think. And I don't mean totally underquote a job and lose money. I mean, you don't make as much money as you planned on making, right? Just to be clear with that. And you know, I get these comments sometimes on YouTube. All you care about is money, Kalfas. The only people who say stuff like that, I'm trying not to cuss here, are people who don't have any money. And even me saying that sounds bad and wrong. I don't mean that. The whole point, the reason that you're in business is not to work for free so you can run around in circles and jump through hoops for people and not do what you want to do. And not spend time with your family, so you can go, you know, jump through hoops for people who have like big, beautiful homes with privacy fences and $100,000 in landscaping and $100,000 pool in their backyard, and they're having a pool party, and you're out there installing shrubs or landscape, or you're doing their landscaping or laying a brick patio on a Saturday night, grinning your teeth because you're not making any money because you underquoted it. And then you can smell chicken. Is that chicken? Oh my God, it's ribs. Baked potatoes with garlic and butter. I love baked potatoes with... Oh, what is that? Right? It's just waffling through the air. And you're there on a Saturday night and you hear, is there a pool party? Oh my God. My client is having so much fun, and there's company showing up. I mean, you probably wouldn't be there during like a party, you'd be gone. But what I'm talking about is you should have that too in your life, right? You are providing a luxury service. I don't care if you're landscaping or mowing lawns or doing window cleaning or soft washing or whatever you're doing. Most of what you're doing is a luxury service. And if you're miserable, here's what I mean, man. So before I learned a lot of these really hard lessons, and I've got a lot of stuff to learn, right? There's this domino effect. Back to you win some, you lose some. So the way I think about it, you're living right now in this moment. The valuable minutes of your life are going by tick-tock, tick-tock, and I really appreciate you spending time with me and watching this video, right? I really thank you, and thank you. Hit the subscribe button. So, Brian Fullerton, he started his YouTube channel after me and just passed me right up. My name Brian Fullerton, and I just got 100,000 subscribers. Yeah. No, Brian works his ass off, dude. You see a picture, I saw this, I know I'm switching the subject, I'll be right back. I saw this funny picture, it was funny to me. Brian had done a whole bunch of work and he launched his podcast and everything, and congrats to Brian. But he posted this picture on Instagram a couple months ago that he he did some successful things, and he's smiling in the picture, and he's next to his him and his wife, because they're a team, and he had bags under his eyes. He was like smiling, he looked all tired and shit. That was so funny, because success doesn't come without paying a hard ass long price. You have to pay the price, man, and letting people walk on you or take advantage of you is not the way to do it. Now, back to what I was saying, to where you win some, you lose some. To me, there's a domino effect. If you are okay, or you justify, here's the best part of this video, if you blame your customer or some other outside influence, some things happen outside of your control, I get that, but if you don't take responsibility and you blame outwardly for the reason why you're losing money on this job, you will instantly create an energetic arc that goes to the next job, and you will create an effing downward spiral that now you'll go 6 weeks in a row just running around having panic attacks, not going anywhere and messing up, and that anxiety you will carry from job to job to job, and now it's the middle of the busiest part of the season and you're running around with no structure. I'm telling you, like, from experience, and I have people that mentor me too that tell me this stuff. When shit's hitting the fan, or you mess up on a job, like, you gotta hit that big red stop button and get real clear and go look in the mirror and say, this is where you messed up. You stick it in your mouth and you eat it. Like, it's like if you pick up a cookie or you reach and you grab a turd, it doesn't matter, you already picked it up. You have a fiduciary responsibility to eat that thing now. Don't complain, don't blame anybody else, don't take it out on anybody. You eat it. Grin it and bear it, get it done, eat it, chew it up, swallow that pain, full experience, and learn your lesson. Be a man or woman of integrity. Don't let it leak out. Don't even let your customer know. And you say, okay, this is where I messed up here. This is the learning experience. People pay $150,000 for a college degree, right? You are paying a couple hundred or a couple $1,000 to get a phenomenal education and real world business experience in life. And the longer it takes you to learn these lessons, lesson is repeated until lesson is learned. Lesson is repeated until lesson is learned. Lesson is repeated forever until you die. And just when you think you learned a lesson, you only learned a lesson in one line. There's many lines of lessons, right? Another lesson will come in just like it, but with a slightly different, one little tiny thing was off, and now it just slips through the cracks, boom, stabs you in the, it's like an arrow. It's like you got your fortress built, and an arrow comes right in between, it just stabs you right in the heart, and like you're like, how did I not see that? Another thing is pricing and rushing. When you're rushing, because you have anxiety, because you need money. Sometimes you need to just say, stop, center yourself, and get right here, right now. Phones are blowing up. A million things to do. You got to get back to your insurance company. You got to do paperwork. You got to answer this phone call. You got clients breathing down your neck. Everybody needs something from you. And don't ask yourself, like, what can I do right now to make this better? Because you can do a million things. The question is, who can I be right now? Who am I becoming? And a big thing that I learned that this has helped me tremendously, is upgrading your identity. If you have an old identity from where you were when you first started your business a couple years ago or whatever, or before you started your business, like sometimes you have to do neurosynaptic pruning. You have to go in your psychology and prune the physical connections and let those things die off. And let go of those old identities. I'm yawning because yawning is a release. And then adopt a brand new you. Upgrade your identity. And start from a place of high esteem and consciousness and self-worth. Don't be afraid to say no. Realize that there's millions of fish in the sea. There's so much opportunity out there. You really get really good at saying no. I had a customer yesterday. I'm on a job. He comes out, and I immediately knew. He goes, "How much do you trim my tree?" Both trees. I go, "Well, this tree or that tree?" Like whenever a customer is rushing you, you slow down. Just pause. You hold the frame. You're not gonna press a button and get me doing backflips on your property. "Oh, please, can I trim your trees? Or trim your bushes or whatever?" "Oh, you want a quote?" "Okay." Well, I was like, "Okay, well, this one is 200 and that one's 300. And the customer goes, like this like funny type of laugh, right? Like, and then he's trying to talk me $50 into trimming this tree. I could have done it for $50, but I said I have a $300 minimum to do any job. I can't bring a crew here, even though it's across the street. He says, "You should feel lucky that you're getting work right now. And and I'm an entrepreneur too, and I understand how this works." I'm like, "Dude, I gotta pay work comp and all this stuff. Like, I can't just like trim your tree for $50. And I explained to him, you position yourself as an expert by teaching the customer whatever you're doing, you just qualify. And this dude's like, "You can do it for $50. And I said, "Hey man, I can't do it." He says, "Well, you're lucky that I'm giving you work right now." I said, "Well, dude, I'm booked out for 7.5 weeks. I can't even do it for 7.5 weeks. He goes, "Well, then I'm in the wrong business. I need to be in your business." I was like, "Okay, well, you're a really nice guy. I like you personally, but I got to get back to my job site." And I don't think I'm cool or anything, by the way, dude. Like, this dude is probably more successful than me. He was a lot older than me. He has a lot more life experience. And I'm sure I can learn a million things from this person. But I'm saying you have a role to play, and people can't suck up your time and try to talk you down, right? So, and, I just thought of a funny Eddie Murphy joke. He's like, "Okay." Never mind. So, oh yeah. So here's what he tried to do. The guy says to me, he goes, "What is your last name?" "Kalfas." I'm like, "Kalfas." He goes, "What nationality are you?" I'm like, "It's Czechoslovakian. My grandfather and my heritage is from Czechoslovakia." He goes, "Oh, Czechoslovakia is a beautiful place. Have you ever been there, the Czech Republic?" I'm like, "No, but I really want to go. I would love to go there." He's like, "Oh," and he spends like 3 minutes telling me about how beautiful Czechoslovakia is because he's been there. I'm like, "Dude, this is really nice." And I'm like, I'm really listening to what he's saying now because I'm very genuinely interested, but I'm not stupid. I know he's trying to pull a string to try to get me to say, now that we have a friendship, that I'll do his tree for $50. I was like, he's very smart. But here's what I mean. If you want to do something out of the goodness of your heart, you got a fiduciary responsibility too. I like what Mike Michalowicz, he's got his new book, Fix This Next. He said, you are robbing your future customers of the possibility and potentiality to do business with you, because you're not going to be in business in the future. If you let this customer take advantage of you right now, you're not going to be in business in the future, and you're robbing all these customers in the future who will get to experience you in all your services. So you have to raise your prices now, or stand your ground now, or have policies, or draw your line in the sand right now. So then you can have, I'm listening to myself, and I need to take this advice even more. What triggers these videos are little anxieties when this is the first time doing this job right now. It's a commercial project, and it's a subdivision entrance. I quoted it when the weeds were this big, and by the time we got to the job, the weeds were this big. And even though it's the same amount of weeds, they're literally 5 times the size. And now I need to think, if we're booked 7 weeks out, I need to quote the job of how it's gonna look in 7 weeks. Never thought of that, huh? Because you're looking at it, oh my God, that don't look too bad. Well, how's it gonna look in 7 weeks? And then it rained, so I'm out here doing this little piddly job. But you never know, man. It could turn into a lot more good stuff. That's the bright side. And I love having a landscaping business. Here's what's cool about doing lawn care, maintenance, landscaping, all that, is that it's always, money grows on trees and on bushes. It literally does. It's always growing. It always needs to maintain. It's never going to go out of business. People aren't going to do it themselves. And there's always so much work to be done. And it's everywhere. Look at this beautiful tree. It's a crab apple. It needs to be trimmed. These trees are like $200 a piece, man. All right, I gotta get back to this phone call. I gotta return so many phone calls right now. I feel so incredibly fortunate. What else? Oh yeah, I'm right now planning on pulling the trigger for my marketing ROI live event. I'm just a little nervous about the COVID situation, so I gotta get a hold of these hotels and conference centers. I'm booking a conference center so you can come to my live event. It's gonna be epic, but I gotta make sure that everything can be refundable in case they shut the economy down, so I don't lose like $20,000 in money, right? This stuff is very expensive. My new book is out. It is called Your First Year in the Landscaping Business, but it's still not published yet because Amazon is taking so long. If you go to keithkalfas.com, you can check it out, but I will be, as soon as that comes out and I have a paperback, you can get a copy of it. What else? If you don't have a CRM in your business, I use Jobber. It works great. We use it to run our whole business off of keithkalfas.com/Jobber. I'll put a link in the description below. You can get like 20% off your first. And then, that's all. I gotta go. I got a phone call. Later.